Okay, folks, so here's, let's get the light out of there. So here's the initial installation instructions, or from by me anyhow, of installing a diesel heater. So let me show you what's going on. All right, so here's the diesel heater. Here's the 4 nuts. They go on top of those studs right there. I'm gonna move them out of the way. This is the seal you get that goes in between. This goes on here first, and then this plate. Now I put the seal here on the plate, because this is what mates up with the floor. I just don't want any gases getting in, so I put a seal on there. Okay, now the one important thing here, because I messed this up a couple of times, is before you put this plate on, or actually you want to put this thing here on like this. Just work it down there. All right. Now, before you go any further, you want to put this plug that goes to the pump into this hole. This is where I messed up twice on mine. So you want to put it into that hole. It's going to be hard to do with one hand. So I'll just do it and then I'll show you what I did. All right, so you want to pull as much cable through on this part here with the plug, through that slot right there, and then you want to put this thing here over top that seal, just like that. And then you're going to put the nuts on it and tighten them down. I lost my camera and camera stand somewhere in this bus. Since I've been pulling everything apart and so forth, I laid them somewhere and I have not found them yet. That's the reason why I'm using my cell phone right now to record this. All right, so then you just tighten those down on there. And you'll see down the side of here, I think I've already showed you, maybe not, but I cut that piece out right there, sort of the shape of the heater. And then the little notches over here on the side, right here, is for that plate. And the holes are already drilled down there for the mount bolts. So I'm just waiting for that to dry. I'll probably put that in tomorrow or the next day. But once that's done, that's the easy part actually. The next part is going to be hooking up the fuel line to the bus. That's going to be a pain. I talked to Badge, and he said that the fuel line is, let me turn you this way. Badge told me the fuel line is 1/2 inch. So he told me to get 1/2 inch compression, T-fitting. So basically you're going to have to cut the line. I'm going to have to cut the line and drain the fuel from the filter. Just let that end drain out. And if the one from the fuel tank continues to run, I'll have to plug it, I guess. All right, so there's the bottom of the diesel heater. This one here is the intake, and it goes to right there. It's got the filter on it right there. This is the exhaust, and I wrapped it, but since it was in the center of the bus, I had to do an extension so that it would all get all the way to the edge of the bus, the outside part of the bus. I used I guess you'd say manifold, exhaust manifold wrap. I did that in case I was underneath the bus and the diesel heater is running. I won't get burned by touching it. And how I extended it, this here is a EMT. I think it's called EMT. Metal piping for electrical wire. Anyhow, this is the end of the original pipe, corrugated pipe right here. And then I did a 90-degree angle here, obviously. And I went all the way to the end and hooked the exhaust pipe, tailpipe, up to it. But yeah, I'm going to do a little bit different support here. This is just temporary. I'm going to do some wire probably. But I just wanted to show you how I did mine. And I just got it finished where it's working now. I had a problem with, I had bubbles in my fuel line. So I had to disconnect the whole fuel line, take it back to the, and then disconnect it between the filter and the pump. I had it, so I had to disconnect from the pump on the filter side and let it run out so it would cut all the air pockets out of it. Then once I did that, I had to turn on my system to get the pump to start working so that I could get all the air out of those lines, and then I reconnected it and it's working great now. But anyhow, that's about the gist of it there. Let me show you the rest of it. All right, so here's the rest of it. There's the fuel pump. It comes along here, gets tied up there. And there's the fuel filter. And then there's the T. I got to support that. I'm going to drill a hole. Where do you see this hole right here? I'm going to drill another hole right beside it to run some wire up through there and then bring it down and put it, wrap it around that so it's supported. Hey folks, I'm here underneath my bus, tapping into my fuel line. This is what I'm using to tap into the fuel line. Sorry about the noise. Guy across the street is blowing off the street where he cut grass. So anyhow, what I've done up here is I've made marks right there because I really don't want to change the direction or the place of the fuel line. So I've made marks. I don't know if I'm going to use them yet or not, but I'll probably end up cutting right in the center or one side or the other and then cut the other one also. But I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting ready to do. And I've got my bucket to catch diesel. I've got the diesel cutter or the PVC cutter, PCV cutter, JVC cutter, How about plastic tubing cutter? There we go. That'll work. Anyhow, I'm using this so I get a straight cut. That is going to be as you can see, I lost quite a bit of fuel out of the return line. I guess I wasn't prepared for that. Alright. Okay, now the other part is I gotta hook this up, because when I hook that return line up to here, it's gonna come out of this, and now it'll have to go uphill, and I may end up having to pinch it off anyhow. All right. So this is not going to be, I guess I didn't go through with my idea of cutting it, did I? Alright. This is going to have to be fast, so that I don't lose so much fuel. Shouldn't take that, be that hard. Yeah, famous last words. That wasn't so bad. As long as this is going on. Feels like it is. There we go. It's going on now. Alright, so that's how you do it. Not really. I see I do have a leak though on a previous connection that I will have to fix. Alright guys, I want to show you. I'm finished with the diesel air heater. So let me show you what I have done on the inside, how it's set up. So here it is here. And what I did was I put a box over top, made a box for it. And the cover has a hole in it, but it's got a screen on it for the intake, and then it's got a cutout here for the cables to sit in. Then down here on the bottom, it's got wood strips that hold it in place. I'll probably end up putting straps on it too, just to keep it from bouncing up and down when I hit bumps or whatever. Not sure yet, but probably leave it as is until I have a problem. But anyhow, that part is pretty much done for now. All right, so let's put this thing back down. So yeah, those wood strips in there just keep it cradled in that one spot. And so here, last but not least, is the monitor. So I've got it, I haven't secured the wiring yet, but it's just gonna go right there, and then secure it to the frame there, and then there you go, right there. Works really well. I'm really happy with it. But as far as the fuel lines, I want to make sure you understand this, that you've got to get all the air pockets out of the fuel line. Otherwise, you may not get it working. I ran mine for 2 hours, and all I had was cold air coming out of it. So what I did was I disconnected the fuel line from the fuel pump on the filter side. I let the fuel run out and tapped it, made sure all the bubbles were out of the line. Then I hooked it back up. Then I disconnected the fuel line from the diesel heater, threw it back over the axle, and then with one hand held the fuel line up and let all the bubbles from the fuel pump go to the top of that, and then I slowly slid the rest of the fuel line through my fingers on top, and making sure all the bubbles were staying up on top all the way to the end, and then I crimped the end, threw the fuel line back over across the axle, routed it, and then hooked it back into the diesel heater, and within probably 30 seconds I had hot air. So anyhow, I just wanted to make sure you understood that fuel line has got to be bled, I guess you say, air bled, for this thing to get working. Anyhow, I hope this helps somebody, especially on the fuel line, splicing of the fuel line. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good day.